I'm going to go over the Ikelos SMG, one of the best weapons in the game, definitely the best SMG. With Recluse being sunsetted, Ikelos is a good alternative going into Beyond Light endgame. I'm going to talk about the PVE and the PVP God Rolls for this weapon, and I'm going to go over the Warmind Cell Mods. I think they are not used, or maybe people are not aware of them. I definitely want to go over them and some of the best mods to be using on your armor for this weapon. So to obtain Ikelos SMG, you go to the Prismatic Recaster, and it is the last engram here, the CQC Focused Ember engram. It'll give you the first in last out shotgun or the Ikelos SMG. Now on to what I think is the God Roll for this Ikelos SMG. For the barrel, I recommend corkscrew rifling or polygonal rifling to boost your range, stability, and handling. For the magazine, I recommend tactical mag or extended mag. I choose tactical mag because it increases your stability and your reload speed, and it does slightly increase your magazine size. Where extended mag will take away a lot of your reload speed and only adds like 2 bullets to the chambers. So I definitely recommend tactical mag. Now on to the first perk for this SMG. I highly recommend getting Threat Detector. Threat Detector increases reload, stability, and handling when enemies are in close proximity, which makes it a good pair with Surrounded. And there is no just straight up reload perks for this weapon, so this is the closest you're going to get to faster reload. Coming in close second would be Subsistence, but I have an SMG with it and I just kept running out of ammo, and after killing an enemy, the amount of ammo you get back is almost negligible. So I don't recommend Subsistence. It's okay, it's not great. I definitely would suggest getting Threat Detector here. For the second perk, I recommend Surrounded. You could also use Demolitionist here, but I use Surrounded with Surrounded Spec. So Surrounded increases damage when there's like 3 or more enemies in close proximity, and Surrounded Spec creates bonus damage. This damage lingers for a brief time when no longer surrounded by 3 or more enemies. So in terms of God Roll for PvP, obviously you want to focus on the gun's recoil and range. So you want to use Hammer Forged Rifling probably for the barrel, and accurized rounds to increase the gun's range. And for the 2 main perks in the weapon, I recommend Dynamic Sway Reduction and Tap the Trigger, which gives the gun insane stability. Ever since they buffed Dynamic Sway Reduction, it's a must-have for an automatic weapon in PvP. Now on to the Seraph mods that can be equipped to create Warmind cells that cause huge explosions to annihilate enemies. If you didn't earn these mods back in Season 10, I don't think they're obtainable at the moment, and you may want to skip this part of the video. Now let's go through these mods. The mods can only be equipped on worthy gear, and some mods will have to be on specific elemental gear. So the first one here is Global Reach. Warmind cells you create affect and damage targets at a greater distance. Blessing of Rasputin. Collecting a Warmind cell increases the chances that your next final blow with the Seraph weapon will create a Warmind cell. So this one's really good, because I find that it does take a lot of kills to actually spawn a Warmind cell, so this will increase that. Light of the Fire, which can only be on solar-worthy armor gear. Rapidly defeating targets with the detonation of a Warmind cell generates an Orb of Light. So quick way, if you're fighting a lot of ads, quick way to get your super back. Warmind's Light. Become charged with light by collecting a Warmind cell, so this is another way that you can become charged with light. Good for like Lucid Blade for extra sword damage, and any mod that actually requires you to be charged with light. Grasp of the Warmind, only on void-worthy armor gear. You could pick up, carry, and throw Warmind cells. Once thrown, a Warmind cell cannot be picked up again. So that's interesting now. You can actually, instead of just shooting them, you can pick them up and throw them at your enemies. So that's a great mod. Modular Lighting, only on arc-worthy armor gear, and collecting a Warmind cell creates a burst of chaining arc energy around you. Strength of Rasputin, only on arc-worthy gear. Collecting a Warmind cell grants you melee energy. So this one's obviously good for your ability. Collecting a Warmind cell grants you an overshield. When it says collecting, it just means you just walk over it. And this one I actually used quite a bit. Chosen of the Warmind. Collecting or destroying a Warmind cell creates a concussive blast that pushes enemies away. Burning cells. Destroying a Warmind cell creates a burst of solar energy that causes enemies to burn for several seconds. Wrath of Rasputin, solar splash damage final blows have a chance to create Warmind cells. Fire Team Medic, destroying a Warmind cell creates a burst of healing for you and allies near you. Rage of the Warmind adds additional solar damage to the explosions of Warmind cells you destroy. Incinerating Light, become charged with light by rapidly defeating multiple enemies with the explosion of a Warmind cell. Cellular Suppression, damaging a Warmind cell creates a burst of suppressing void energy. Additionally, you deal less damage to Warmind cells. Power of Rasputin, you gain a bonus to weapon damage against enemies that are near Warmind cells. You take reduced damage from enemies that are near Warmind cells. Warmind cells you create last longer. Warmind's longevity. And last one here is Light from Darkness. Become charged by light by rapidly defeating multiple enemies near a Warmind cell using weapons or abilities. So this Power of Rasputin and Warmind's Protection are really great here. And Warmind's Protection only takes 2 slots. You take reduced damage from enemies that are near Warmind cells. This is actually, I like this one. I think Warmind's Protection is definitely one of the best mods here. There are so many choices you can play with to make the weapon not only an killing machine, but also to increase survivability. You can also use these as combos as well, like Grasp of the Warmind. You could pick up the Warmind cell, and then if you had Warmind's Protection on, you could throw it near the enemies and take reduced damage from them. Or even for Power of Rasputin, you could kill, like in Crown of Sword, kill the ads, chuck it over into the boss, and then you gain bonus weapon damage. If you're using the Ikelos SMG, I definitely recommend this one mod. If you're gonna choose one mod for your armor, I definitely recommend Global Reach. It only takes up 1 energy slot, and it is noticeable how many enemies you'll clear out with just destroying one of these Warmind cells. So this is a definitely must-have here if you were to choose one. Well, this has been my review of the Ikelos SMG. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks for watching.